Have you ever wondered what it feels like to cheat death? It's an unthinkable question, isn't it? Yet, there are those who have stared into the abyss and lived to tell the tale. Our story today revolves around such an individual, a man who not only faced death, but also outwitted it in a remarkable, unthinkable way. The term cheating death is often thrown around lightly, but what does it truly mean? It means to escape a seemingly inevitable demise, to defy the odds that are heavily stacked against you. It's about clutching on to the slim thread of life when everyone else believes it's the end. This is the tale of a man who did just that. He was given a death sentence, but fate had other plans. Today we delve into the extraordinary survival story of a man who lived through a death sentence. Imagine being handed a death sentence, your fate sealed by the gavel's final strike. That's exactly what our protagonist found himself facing. Picture this: a bustling courtroom, the air thick with anticipation. Our protagonist, a man of no significant past, now at the center of everyone's attention. He stands accused of a crime so heinous it has shocked the community to its core. Prior to this, our protagonist led a life of relative obscurity. He was an everyday man, living an everyday life, but all that changed when he found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time. The charges brought against him were grave. The crime? A brutal murder, an act so horrifying that it sent ripples of fear through the town. The trial was a whirlwind. The prosecution presented what seemed like an ironclad case. The defense, however, contended that our protagonist was innocent, a mere victim of circumstance. They argued that the evidence was circumstantial, that the real perpetrator was still at large, but their pleas fell on deaf ears. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The jury deliberated, the tension palpable. The town held its breath, awaiting the verdict. And then, it came. The gavel came down hard, the sound echoing through the silent courtroom. The jury had reached a decision. Guilty. The judge, a stern figure of authority, delivered the sentence. His voice, steady and unyielding, resonated through the courtroom. You have been found guilty of the charges brought against you. The penalty is death. The words hung in the air, a chilling reminder of the gravity of the situation. The courtroom erupted into a cacophony of gasps and whispers. Our protagonist stood there, a picture of stoic resolve. But beneath the facade a storm was brewing. Fear, anger, disbelief, a whirlwind of emotions threatened to consume him, and with that, our protagonist was sent to await his impending doom. Life on death row is a waiting game, each tick of the clock a reminder of the inevitable end. Imagine for a moment a world of isolation where the only company you keep are your thoughts and the cold, stark walls of your cell. This was the reality for our protagonist. Each day, he woke to the grim reality of his impending fate. His meals, served through a small slot in the door, were a constant reminder of the life he once knew and the freedom he'd lost. His interactions with others were limited to the brief encounters with prison guards and the occasional visit from his legal team. There was no camaraderie among the condemned, no shared stories or laughter to lighten the mood. Instead, there was a heavy silence that hung in the air, broken only by the distant echoes of slamming doors and the muffled cries of despair. His mental state, as you can imagine, was a roller coaster of emotions. There were moments of profound sadness when the weight of his reality would come crashing down. There were moments of anger when he would question the fairness of it all. And there were moments of fear when the finality of his situation would grip him, shaking him to his core. But there were also moments of acceptance. Moments when he would find solace in the quiet and the solitude. He would reflect on his past actions, the choices that led him here, and the life he once led. He began to understand the gravity of his actions, the pain he had caused, and the ripple effect it had on the lives of others. Yet in this bleak existence, he found strength. He found a sense of purpose, a resolve to face his destiny with dignity. He began to write, to express his thoughts and feelings, to give voice to his fears and his regrets. His words became his lifeline, a beacon of light in the darkness of his world. But amidst the despair, a glimmer of hope was about to shine. Fate, as they say, has a funny way of intervening when least expected. Our protagonist's life, hanging by a thread, was about to be spun in a direction no one could have foreseen. The clock was ticking, and the sand in the hourglass was running out. But just as the dark clouds of despair were settling in, a ray of hope pierced through. A new piece of evidence surfaced, as if out of thin air. A weathered old letter, hidden away for years, suddenly found its way into the hands of a diligent investigator. This letter, written by a now-deceased acquaintance of our protagonist, hinted at a possible frame-up, casting a fresh light on the whole case. Meanwhile, another miracle was in the making. A key witness, whose testimony had been instrumental in sealing our protagonist's fate, began to show signs of unease. Guilt gnawed at his conscience, and he finally crumbled under its weight. In a shocking turn of events, he retracted his testimony, admitting that he had been coerced into giving false evidence. As these events unfolded, a new legal team, passionate and relentless, took up the protagonist's cause. They fought tooth and nail, challenging every piece of evidence, questioning every testimony, and leaving no stone unturned. The courtroom battles were fierce, emotions ran high, and the stakes were higher than ever. The legal team's relentless pursuit of the truth, coupled with the newfound evidence and the witness's retraction, painted a different picture of the case. The scales of justice began to tip, and the once certain death sentence started to waver. In the end, it was this twist of fate, this unexpected turn of events, that offered our protagonist a lifeline, a chance to challenge the sentence, a chance to fight for his life, a chance to turn the tables against the seemingly insurmountable odds. And just like that, the impossible happened. Imagine stepping out into the world, a free man, after staring death in the face. Our protagonist, once shackled by the cold steel of his impending doom, found himself bathed in the warm glow of freedom. The world, which had been so cruel and unyielding, now seemed vibrant and full of possibilities. He was no longer a prisoner, not of concrete walls, nor of the despairing thoughts that once consumed him. You see, there's something about coming face to face with mortality that shifts one's perspective. The mundane becomes miraculous, the trivial turns significant, and every breath is a sweet reminder of the gift of life. He walked, not with the weight of the past, but with gratitude for the present and hope for the future. He saw the world through new eyes, eyes that had stared into the abyss and emerged on the other side. His heart, once hardened by the harsh realities of his circumstance, was now softened by the beauty of existence. And he made a vow, a pact with himself, to make the most of his second chance at life. He became a beacon of change, a man determined to reshape his destiny. He sought to make amends, to right the wrongs of his past, not out of obligation, but out of a genuine desire to do better. He traded his old habits for new ones, his old life for a new path. He became an advocate, a voice for those still trapped in the system that almost claimed his life, but most importantly he learned to appreciate the simple joys of life. The warmth of the sun on his skin, the sound of laughter, the taste of freedom. Every moment, every experience was a treasure, a testament to his survival. And so our protagonist lived to tell the tale, a testament to the unpredictable nature of life. His story serves as a reminder that, even in the darkest of times, hope can still shine through. And sometimes life gives you a second chance to become the person you were always meant to be. The tale of our protagonist is a stark reminder of the power of hope and resilience. Navigating through the darkest corners of life, he found a beacon of light in the strength of his spirit. It's a testament to the human capacity to endure, to fight, and, against all odds, to survive. His story is not just about escaping the clutches of death, it's about the will to live, to seize every moment, and to never lose faith. It's about the transformative power of hope that can turn a death sentence into a second chance at life. His journey also underscores the inherent flaws in our justice system, the risk of condemning an innocent life to death. It's a call for us to revisit, reflect, and reform. And so we are left to ponder on the incredible tale of a man who cheated death, a stark reminder that sometimes fate has a way of defying even the most certain of outcomes.